Welcome back into the Spaceman 2.0 Phoenix Truth Rising show with the truth will set you free about the KHAZARS adopted Judaism in about 740 AD. And this Khazarian barbarian clan, did they actually keep the law of the land of the Torah, or did they keep continuing to pillage, plunder, rape, and ravage their way through as the Golden Horde hidden in plain sight? So remember at the beginning, part 1, I showed you Judah Halevi's book, The Book of the KHAZARS. He was a physician, a philosopher, and probably the greatest poet of the Golden Age. See, they already had their Golden Age. He writes love songs, a series of exile poems, songs of Zion, religious poetry, which becomes part of traditional liturgy and the popular Sefer HaKuzari, the Book of the KHAZARS. The Kuzari. And remember that 1290 England expels Jews. Most go to Germanic countries in Europe and some to Spain. And we have in 1306 France expels Jews. Many go to Spain. 1348 we have the Black Death. Bubonic plague hits Europe, killing 40%. Look, anti-Semites accuse Jews of poisoning wells, and anti-Semitic riots destroy over 200 Jewish communities in Germany alone, killing thousands of people. So, again, was it these Khazarian barbarians that use, remember I already showed you in the other parts, disease, death, and famine? And don't forget about the Rothschilds, because he is a member of the Khazarian barbarians that took on the Judean religion and became one of them. Hence, we have modern Zionism develops. In 1862, Moses Hess, one of the writers, foreshadowed Theodor Herzl, who came out in 1898, declared Zionism and to create the first Jewish state. And basically, the first Zionist Congress was held 1897 in Basel, Switzerland, where the BSI or the BIS is, the Bank of International Settlements, the most bank that tops all banks around the world. Jews are expelled from Moscow. But this, what I want to get into is the actual number of Jews in Europe. There are about 7 million Jews in Europe, 5 million in Russia, about 250,000 American, only about 25,000 Palestine. There are also large numbers in the Middle East, North Africa. Now, with the diaspora, we have the Sephardic Jews and the Ashkenazi Jews. And what I'm trying to get into is that the Ashkenazi Jews came from Russia area, which is Khazaria land, that became Russia after the Sviatoslav Russian king came in and demolished Khazaria. And then they had to turn into Judaism. So, what I'm trying to propose is, where did all the Ashkenazi Jews just appear from? And the Sephardic Jews have been outnumbered. Now remember the Balfour Declaration, 1917, same time that we had the Russian Revolution with the Bolsheviks, which were Jewish and they were communists and took over Russia, killing 60 million Christians, blood running in the streets of Kiev. But they also wanted their national home in Palestine. In 1917, they asked for the Balfour Declaration to be signed by the British Foreign Minister Balfour. There's a 1917 Russian Revolution. Many Jews have been active in revolutionary parties prior to the revolution and become senior officials in the new communist government. For the first time, Jews are officially equal in status. So they were kicked out of Moscow, kicked out of here, kicked out of there, but now they want finally equal status. It's starting to make sense, people? 1912, the Orthodox anti-Zionist movement Ajudat Israel is founded in Katowice. Over time, the organization moves towards ultra-Orthodoxy, and Hasidism in 1948 becomes a political party in the State of Israel. Well, if they're really against Israel or anti-Zionism, they probably shouldn't be in Israel, should they? Anyways. Just another quick look at the name Golden Age. They keep saying Golden Age. There's a Golden Age with the Spanish Jews in 1500s and stuff like that for 100 years. They keep saying Golden Age. So in this glossary of terms, there is no KHAZAR located. But let's look into the book style here, because this goes back another way. It shows you another book, basically. 2 books in one. Basically, that's called an Elon. If you were to put all your tree of lives connected together, you'd get an Elon, and it continuously goes down. But that's another story for another day. That's why Elon Musk is called Elon Musk. Anyways, there we go with more KHAZARS in this show. Now, here's a point to the diasporias and migrations. Okay, now up here, okay, they're saying they're leaving Germany, and where'd they go? But when you come over here, when they came into Israel, okay, look, from India, 20, 30,000, 50,000, 130,000, 84,000, 20,000, 4,000, 130,000, 350,000. Sephardic Jews were over here. They're in Spain, 19,000, 37,000, 24,000. But then when you get around the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea, you get 276,000 and 172,000 and 1,182,000, which basically is like 1.5 million right there. Didn't we just see that there is 5 million Russian Jews? So were those the immigrants from Khazaria coming in? And this book is from 2010. So there you have Sephardim. Look, Golden Age again. Golden Age, Golden Age, Golden Age, Golden Age. They're definitely a pattern here of the Jewish Golden Age. Let's go over some basic, beautiful definitions. Converso, Jew who converted to Christianity. New Christian, Jew who converted to Christianity, usually used in Portugal. Judaizer, Jew who converted to Christianity but secretly continued to practice Judaism. A crypto Jew, Jew who converted to Christianity but remained a secret Jew and practiced the Kabbalah. Marrano, originally a derogatory term derived from the word for pig, for Jew who converted to Christianity but remained a secret Jew. And a lot of the Marranos, you think were Christians, but they were the controller of the slave ships that run from Africa over to New York and the Caribbean areas. So the Marranos, not Christians, but were originally Jews, controlling all the slave ships. But we're not getting into the white slaves from the Slavic area just now. We're talking about the African slaves. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about, people. 1930 Sephardim are now only 10% of world Jewry, right? Where did all the true Jews go? And why do I say true Jews is because, look, even their names started with Aramaic. Okay, Sephardic names often have Portuguese or Spanish origins. Others can derive from Aramaic, the original language spoken by Jesus. And in that time, in that land, he came to his own domain and they received him not, because half of them were not of him. Arabic, Persian, Greek, or Berber, with the addition of Ben Hebrew, even Arabic, Bar Aramaic, Uda, were okay. Anyways, there you go. Some basic understandings of how the language was spoken. Aramaic by the Sephardic diaspora. So they changed their religion, became Italian Jews. Maybe my name even goes back, because it goes to Italy too. But let's move on to the Ashkenazi, and the Jews in Western Europe, the KHAZAR Kingdom. I'm going to have to go on to a part 5. I'm just about done here.